Good morning, everyone. My name is Arslan, and you are watching Proper Tech Tutorial. So, welcome back to the series of learning Siemens NX from beginner to pro. And today we'll be starting the part 12 of the video. And in this, we'll be studying certain basic curves and basic drafting tools that are available in Siemens NX. So, we'll start with I'll show you the syllabus for your reference. We'll start with how to create a point, rectangle, circle, line, arc, profile, and then spline. These are the basic curves or basic sketching tools or drafting tools that are available. And okay, so bear with me for my ill health. And okay, let us start. So first, we'll create a file with the name of basic sketching. Training, and I'll change the save folder. Okay, so now the file has been created, basic sketch training, and as you know, in the previous video we learned about creating datum sketch, and from part 11 the essential, the basic of the sketching has started, and till part 10 there were things which are related to OS, the visualization part, the things which are handy on and off while using sketching or modeling or assembly, and certain user preferences, resource bars, ribbon customization, etc. So these things were covered till part 10. And in case you are new to Siemens NX, I will suggest you to watch the videos from part 11, part 1 to part 10, and then come to part 11. In case you know already about these customizations and user interfaces of Siemens NX, you can start from part 11 and part 12. So starting the part 12 of the video, the basic sketch. So first of all, we have the datum coordinate system already defined. We'll just select a plane for sketching, and that is the XY plane. And we will reverse, we can reverse it or we cannot reverse it. I will let it be as it is so that X and Y are in the desired direction. Now, coming to the option of creating a point. So point tool is either available in the above curve area of your sketch ribbon or sketch home ribbon, or you can just search it over here and you will get the tool of point. So we'll select the option of creating a point, and then there is the first option which is available, that is the inferred point. Inferred point means you can select anywhere and the point will be created dynamically as per your selection behavior. The second method of creating a point is that you can use the cursor location, that is what which we were doing. Inferred actually gives you the option, actually gives the Siemens a much more AI based of behavior, that as per your selection or as per your preferences it will choose either of the option which it seems fit as per your input behavior. So this cursor location was inferred because we were just doing the left click, and it was assuming that we want to use the method of cursor location. The second method is that of the existing point. That is, if we select the existing point and we can create an overlapping point on the same existing point. For example, there is an existing point of, let's say, the center of a circle or the origin of the coordinate system. We can input a point over here also. Okay. The third option which is available is that endpoint. So for example, if I have a line, okay, I have a line and I want to create a point using this option, endpoint. So if I will select this line, it will create a point at the end of the line. So end of the line, how will it be determined? It will be determined on the basis of the creation of the line. I created the line from left to right. In this, I created the line from bottom to top. I can also create the line over here. I can also create it over here. So wherever your cursor will be the nearest to, or on the basis of your creation of line, it will be selected. So you can create the line on both the endpoints as well as on the actual endpoint. The fourth option that is available is control point. So how will we use control point? Let us create a profile. This a profile. Okay, so this profile has been created, and how do we create that? We'll come to that in the same video later on. So first, let us focus on the option of on the method of creating a point. Okay, so now on the curve, if I select this, it will give me the option of creating a curve at the midpoint of the curve. Similarly, if I select this point, it will create a point on the midpoint or on the start point or the end point. So these three things are available. If I again select this midpoint, end point and start point. So this is a higher version or the advanced version of endpoint that allows us to create points based on the midpoints and the starting points as well. Okay, so now let us come to the intersection point. If I use this point, intersection point, and I click on this line, so I will have to select another curve or another path that is having an intersection with the same line. If I select this point, it will be created over here. If I select this point, it will be created over here. Similarly, if I have this curve and this curve, it will be created at the intersection or the conjunction of both the curves. Okay. Now coming to the next option, that is arc, ellipse and sphere center. This allows us to have just pardon me a moment. So this allows us to create the point in the center of an arc or a curve. For example, we have this arc. Let us use that. You know, the center of the circle is easy to determine. Let us determine the center of an arc. So if I select this arc, you will see that the center has been destined or has been given a point. Similarly, if I select this arc, you will see that the center has been allocated a point for sketching purpose. So this is the basis of using the options. So the options, as I told you, the thing which is to be remembered now is that, as I told you in the first or the second video of the learning Siemens NX from beginner to pro, is that the user interface of Siemens NX is designed in such a manner which allows the user or the designer to use Siemens NX hassle free. So for an expert or pro, it allows the work to be done fast and easily. And for a beginner, it allows the user or the learner to gain more morale and gain confidence. And that confidence helps the designer or the learner or the user to learn the software much more easier. And if you have learned any of the software, be it Siemens NX, AutoCAD, Revit, etc. Revit is an architecture, so like SolidWorks, you can translate your skills from one software to another. That is why I have started the course of Siemens NX. Nothing any special about that. This is the only reason. Now, quadrant point. Quadrant points are basically at the angle of 45 degrees. For example, you have this circle, and I will select the option of point of quadrant. So you will see that this XY has, like, this is the plane, and if I will select the plane to be like this, and I will align it properly. So if I will click over here, it will select that is from the center. If I create a, let me create a, take this center and this, and again from the center to parallel to x-axis. Okay, and I will also apply the parallel relation just so that you can make it confirm that both of these are parallel. Okay, this is now parallel to the y-axis. I will apply it. Now I will use the x-axis, and this is parallel to the x-axis, and I will apply it. So now you can be sure that these two lines are parallel to x and y-axis. So now see and observe that if I use this option of quadrant points, the points that will be generated will be at the intersection of these parallel lines which are parallel to X and Y. Now this will be created over here. If I select it closer to this, it will be created over here. If I select it over there, it will closer to this, it will be selected over here. So this is the option of using the quadrant points. I will extend the line and you can see that they are at the intersection of the line and the circle. Now coming to other options that are available while creating a point. So the point on curve. Okay, so I will just clear the window so that things are much more easy to understand and are much easily understood. So I will again take the profile. Okay, so this curve has been created. So as you know that while we were making a point and using this option, the endpoint option, you can see that the endpoints were being selected. Similarly, if you were creating a mid using the uh, point of the control point, then the midpoint was also getting selected. Okay, then now comes the option which is much more advanced, that is point on curve. If I will select anywhere on the curve, it will make a point on that particular location. So it is somewhat a combination of the option of the focus point or control point and the cursor location. It is a combination of that. Okay, so I will select over here, over here, over here, over here. So whatever my location of the cursor will be, the location of the point will be exactly the same. Now coming to the spline pole and the spline defining point, these two are not as of your concern for this syllabus from beginner to pro. It is a much more advanced thing to be done, which is usually used for by industry professionals, and that can be done later on. But as of now, for learning the software, these two are not of our concern. Now coming to the option of creating a rectangle. So what are the various methods through which rectangle can be made? Okay, so first is by two-point method. Two-point method means you can select the starting point and the end point of either of the diagonal. So you see that I have selected the starting and the end point, and the diagonal is and the rectangle is getting created. The second option is three-point method, which allows you to specify the length and the breadth as per your convenience while sketching. So if you will select it over here, you can see in the bottom border bar, you are able to witness or observe the width is being displayed. So if you want something to be 345 and 350, it will be 350, and then you will have the option of selecting the height. I want the height to be 150 and I will select it at 150, and then it will be created. And therefore, if I want to measure this rectangle, you can see that it is exactly 350 and 150. The third option that is available is from center to the starting point of the length and the midpoint of the length. So I have selected the starting point, the midpoint of the rectangle, and then I will move my cursor and you will see that a diagonal is being created. After the diagonal is being created, you can see that the width and angle is also getting displayed in the bottom border bar, and you can select it however you want. 220, I want for example 220, and I want to have it at an angle of 45 degrees. So what will I do is that I will move my cursor in whatever way I want. I will make it stable for 1 second, and there will be a pop-up dialog box opened with the options of width, height and angle. I will input over here 250, and I will press the button tab, the tab key on the keyboard, and it will take me to the option of height. For example, I do not want to specify the height as of now. I want to specify the angle, that is 45 degree. And then what will I do? I will just click on left click. After that, you will see that a rectangle has been created in this fashion. Okay, I will show it to you once again. If I will place it over here and I will now put, it was 250, I will put 350. I will also specify the height of the rectangle, and that will be, for example, let's say it is 50 and the angle of the side is 45 degrees, or let's say we should keep it 30 degrees. So you will see that a rectangle with the inclination of 30 degrees has been created with respect to x-axis or the horizontal axis. So this option allows you to specify the angle of the side of your rectangle. If you want to make an inclined rectangle, this option is much more suitable. Rather than making a rectangle and then rotating it, it is better to create the rectangle this manner. So this was made, all these three modes of rectangle, methods of rectangle creation were made using the coordinate mode. The second method is that of a parameter mode. So we will start with that also. I will select a rectangle and I will make the rectangle on a two-dimensional, and you will see that, I'm sorry, it was, the input mode was deselected. I will click it, the rectangle, and you will see that as soon as I clicked it, the option of width and height is getting displayed without any delay. So I will just input the height and width and I will press enter, and the rectangle will be created. After I am satisfied with both the values, I will click on the left click. If I am not satisfied, I will use the tab option and I will circulate. For example, this is 220, this is 110, and I want to change the length again. I will again press tab and it will get to 220. I want it to be 225 and I want the height to be 95. So I will again press tab, and now these two values I'm okay with it. I'll just do a left click and the rectangle will be made. So that is the beauty of parameter method. Similarly, if we come to the topic of circle, circle can be created in the following manner. One is specifying the center and the radius and then creating a circle. The second method is by 3 points method. So how is a 3 point method and circle and center method used? I will let you know. For example, if you have a rectangle, okay, and you want the rectangle to be uh, to be uh, enclosed in a circle where the circle touches all the 3 points of the circle, yes. So what will I do? I will take this point, I will select the second point, I will select the third point, and oh sorry, I will select this point, I will select this point, and I will select this point. So it will create a circle which has all the 3 points touching with the rectangle. That is, the rectangle is enclosed in a circle. Also, what you can do is that you can take the first option, that is specifying the center option, and you can specify the midpoint of this rectangle. How can you do that? The one way of doing that is you can make a line, just make a line like this. Okay, use the midpoint option and select the midpoint of this line. You will hover for 2 seconds and the option of selecting the exact point will come at the right side, right top corner. I will select the midpoint. The stationary curve that is to be selected is this point, this length. So I will click, I will put my cursor on this, and you will see that the line has been translated in the middle of this rectangle, middle of this length. Now, if I will take the option of creating a circle, I will select the midpoint of this curve and I will create a circle. You will see, okay, I did not put another midpoint. So I will use this and I will put the midpoint of this length and I will select this, and therefore it will get exactly at the middle of both the length and the width. Now I will select the option of circle. I will select the first option of creating the circle using the center, and I will hover for 2 seconds, and I will see that these are the options that are available to be selected. So I want the midpoint of the line which is in the middle of the length and the width to be selected. So I will see that this second option, line 40, is the line which is of our design, of our preference. I will click that, and I will see that if I select over here, you see a tangent symbol has been created. So point on curve, you see a tangent symbol has been created. The middle point of line 36, that is the width of the rectangle, and a circle has been made that is inscribed inside the rectangle. So these two methods are of these two different usage, and similarly you can do that for a rectangle. For example, I want to create a rectangle, and I want to create a rectangle, and I will just make a rectangle like this. I will specify the length of this rectangle, and it is 150. Okay, I will use the constraint of equal. Do not get afraid of while if I am using anything which has not been yet discussed. Just focus on the concept which I am trying to tell you. All these things will come in a chronological, in a sequential manner, so that it is easy to understand. Let it be, let the constraints be, let the circle be, let other things be, let the midpoint constraint be, let the equal constraint be. Only focus on how am I using it. How am I using the circle tool to create inside the rectangle and outside the rectangle. Just focus on that. I will use the equal tool, and I will make this side equal to this side, and I will apply it. Also, I will make this side equal to this side, and I am sorry for that, I will select this side equal to this side, and this will create the equilateral triangle. Okay, if you will see the dimension of this, it is 150. If you will see the dimension of this line, it is also 150. Okay, this is over here 150. It has been created in a like a rotated manner, but that is not a problem. It can also be fixed. If I want to make this horizontal, I will just take the make horizontal tool and select this, and it will get horizontal. Nothing to worry about. Okay, part navigator. Okay, so I will make this away from here. I will select the circle tool. I will select the inside of this circle tool, and another way of selecting the inside center of the triangle is that I will hover it over here, and then I will hover it over here, and you will see that this thing is getting traced by the Siemens NX cursor. So if I will hover over here, and if I will hover over here, so you will see that it is getting, you see, tangent, but one side is not getting tangent to another side. So what will we do is that, first of all, the first thing which we will do is that we will take a line, we will use this midpoint, and we will make a line till this trace line is getting visible, the dotted line from the top center. Now we will take this point, and then we will select it at this point. So this gives the center of the triangle. How can we be sure about that? I will take the rapid dimensioning tool, and you will see, I will take the dimensioning, and you will see this is approximately 43.3. If I will select this, this is also 43.3. Okay, now coming to the circle, I will take this midpoint of the triangle that has been located by us, and I will just take either of the side, and I will see a tangent symbol, and I will select it over here. Another way of doing that is that I will select this, and I will have it midpoint, endpoint, So this is giving the tangent. This is also giving the tangent. So either of the option can be selected. These three options can be selected except from point on curve. So I will select the midpoint, and this will get me a tangential circle with all the three sides inscribed inside a triangle. Second way of doing was that I will select the three sides, and you will see that a circle has made the triangle inscribed inside it. Okay, so I hope that each and every concept is getting clear by my by my lecture, and if anything is unclear, do let me know, but I'm making sure that I'm giving my 100% and things are clear 100%. Obviously. Now creating line. So we will create a line, and how will we create that? Let us see. So creating a line is like one of the most easiest way of easiest thing which can be done in a sketch environment. That is, take the line, select any 2 points, and your line is ready to go. Okay, so these dotted lines which you are seeing, whenever you will use any sketch based any sketch tool that is available, basic sketch tool, that is rectangle, profile, etc., whenever it will be getting any constraints that can be applied in the future as per your cursor location, it will get a trace line that is made. For example, if I select a point over here, and you will see that I will make it over here. So if I use the extend tool, so if I will, no, I will not use the extend tool. Rather, I will create a horizontal line and a vertical line, and you will see that it is getting intersected at both the locations. So that is the purpose of using the dotted lines as reference. And second method is by, like, when you will use the xy parametric mode, it will show you the option of choosing a length, or specifying a length, and specifying the angle as well. So just by specifying the length and angle and doing a left click, you will be able to create a line. I want the line to be 100 mm and at 45°, and the line has been created. Okay. So angle, as you know, that angles are specified if not mentioned by with reference to the x-axis. I hope you know that. Now coming to the fifth point, that is creating an arc. So creating an arc is just like creating a part of the circle. Okay, so I will select this point, this tool arc, or I can search it from here, and you will see that it also has two methods of creation. The first method is by 3-point method, and the second method is that of the arc method using the center. So if I go over here, back over here, and if I first close the arc tool, I will select this circle, I will delete it, I will select this circle, and I will delete it. I will select this circle, delete it, and I will select this circle and delete it. Now coming to the arc tool, we'll select the tool option of arc, we'll select the 3-point method. For example, I want an arc that should be having something like this. So you can see that the tangent symbol is getting displayed on both the sides of the triangle, and at the end point of the arc, 3 dots are getting displayed, which are displayed when you hover the cursor for more than 2 seconds. And we will do a left click, and we will see options of selecting which point do we want to select. So if I will select the point on curve, that is the point on curve as per the trace line, or if I will select the midpoint, then you will see that these two things are having different effects. This midpoint is giving the effect of tangential relation at all three sides. However, on the point on curve, because cursor might not be exactly at the midpoint, so it is giving the tangential relation at only two ends. So we'll select the midpoint curve, and you can see that this is tangential to this side. Okay, now coming to the center method, you will see that we will specify the center. We will specify the first starting point, and we will specify the end point, and you can see a arc has been created, or the portion of the circle has been created. Same thing you can do with the help of the parametric mode, and I hope that you can do that on your own. Now coming to the creation of profile and creation of spline. Okay, so the profile is nothing but creation of a continuous sketch using either a straight line, curve, or curve that is an arc or so. Okay, so how do we do that? The method is very simple. First, you will have to select the tool of sketching tool of profile, or you can search it from here, that is profile. You can write it profile over here and it will get selected. Also, there are some shortcut keys for each and every tool. When you will hover it over here, that you will see that there are certain uh, uh, shortcut keys. If you will select, if I will press A on the keyboard, it will open arc. If I will press Z on the keyboard, it will open the option of creating a profile. So you can adjust it also, and you can use the predefined things also. Now you see the object type. So first method, the most basic method, is the method, the option of creating a line is selected. I will keep on selecting different points and lines will be getting created. Second is and then if I want to create an arc, I will select this option, and you will see that arc will get created. But if I have to again create an arc, I will have to select the arc option again, and the arc option will be created. Okay, so you understand that. And based upon our cursor initiation, the type of arc and the orientation of arc will also change. If I have the orientation somewhat like this, if I have some orientation somewhat like uh, this, if I have orientation somewhat like this, so various types of arcs can be created in any direction as per the cursor. Second method of drawing a profile is that rather than selecting from here, each and every time we have to create an arc, we have to select the object type of arc. Rather than doing that, we can do one thing, that is, when you have to draw a line, you just have to do a single instantaneous click at the end point of the line which you deem to create. And when you have to create an arc, you only have to do one thing, that when you are trying to create an arc, press the left click and hold it till the time you have created the arc which you desire. So I am currently pressing the left click down, and I am moving my mouse to change the cursor location, and the arc is getting changed according to my cursor behavior. And you can see that various types of arcs are getting created. So I want to create this type of arc. The dotted lines are also getting shown. And if I want to create something which has if I create a vertical line, it will intersect at the conjunction of the last two successive lines. So I will release the mouse and I will do a single left click. So bear with me again. I want to create an arc. Press the left click, hold it, and move the cursor in the manner which you want to create an arc. Okay, after you have selected the arc which is to be made with the defined constraints, or which the constraints which can be used in the future, and they are currently visible with the help of the dotted lines, loosen the left click which you had holded, and without moving the cursor, just do a left click again, instantaneous left click, and the curve will get created, the arc will get created. You can also use this to create a quadrant, 3/4 of a circle. You can see that various options are getting created, but however, you cannot create a full circle with that, because as soon as you will try to create a circle, this will get totally null and void, it will get nullified. So I have created the arc, and now I have instantaneously released the hold and pressed it again. I want to create the line again. I just need to start clicking it instantaneously. Okay, so this was the method of creating a profile. Now coming to the last topic of basic sketching tools, and that is making a spline. Okay, so spline, first of all, we should understand that what is a spline. Okay, so spline is nothing but uh, uh, is something that is, I will just read it out. It dynamically creates and edits splines by dragging, defining points or poles, and assigning slope or curvature constraints at defining points. So spline gives you much more flexibility when you are creating a curvy sketch. So you can see that when you will specify the first point, it will get specified, and after that these are the options which can be changed in order to create the spline. Okay, 3 points and through poles. So I will select the through points, and as soon as I will be selecting other points, it will be adjusting accordingly. Okay, now if I change this degree, you will see that the curvature or the smoothness is either getting highly smoothened, or it is getting highly abrupt or highly sharpened at the joints. If you will select it at 3 degrees, it will be quite smooth. If you will go further, it will further smooth, but as more the more you will go, you will see that the degrees are getting distorted. So these have their own usage. For example, someone has to make a spline with for certain degrees, so that has its own use. But as of now, 3 degrees is something which is quite suitable for creating a spline that is very smooth and okay, good to use with sweep along curve. That is a thing which is used for 3D modeling. It will be covered later on. That is, it will be covered during uh, modeling sweep along guide over here, part 20 of the video. We still have a lot of advanced sketching tools, drafting tools, so first we'll go with that. So this was the use of making a spline. Also you can alter the motion with the help of view, vector, plane and normal. So spline is not much used in the beginner designing process. In your graduation also it will not be much used, so don't worry about that. And whenever you will be using a spline, you will be presented the exact parameters according to which the spline is to be created. Okay, so this sums up our lecture about basics, curves and basic drafting tools, basic sketching tools. And in the next video, we'll be starting with part 13, that is advanced curves that are available. And advanced curves are divided into 4 parts. And according to their, because if you will create all of them together, the video will get too long and it will be difficult for viewers to search for the part for which they are more concerned. So we have divided the 4 of them as per their relation with each other. So if you like the series, hit the subscribe button, and you can like our videos and share our videos with your friends. And if you have any suggestions, do comment in the comment section. Until the next time we meet, goodbye.